This is chapter 21, oligopoly. So I talked about oligopoly, we talked about few firms dominating the market, few large firms dominating the market. So let's scroll down and see. What is oligopoly? The market that is dominated by a few very large producers is called an oligopoly. Getting started above shows that, okay, that's the case, so we don't need that. Let's just go down. I think you understand what oligopoly is already. Okay, so what are the features? What are the characteristics of oligopoly? Number one, before I read it, they said oligopoly is a common market structure. However, the features in each oligopolistic market may differ slightly depending on the circumstances. The main features of oligopolistic markets are outlined below. One, few firms. One of the main features of oligopoly is that the market often contains just a few firms. Just a few firms. There is no exact number, but it could be as few as 3, 4, 5, or 6. For example, oligopoly is a common market structure, and there are many examples in most countries across the world. For example, just 3 firms dominate the music industry, entertainment industry: Universal Music Group, Sony BMG, and Warner Music Group. So, one of the characteristics of oligopoly or oligopolistic is that few firms dominate the market, and maybe few firms are even available in that market. They're the main example of the music industry, which is an industry, the music industry. But they mentioned just 3 businesses or 3 groups dominating that industry. That is what oligopoly looks like. So large firms dominate. When an oligopoly exists in the market, a few large firms will dominate it. They will have a large proportion of the market to themselves. That means the market share. Okay. Okay, so let me just explain it. But it's about case study which we did not read. So another feature of oligopoly is that there are few large firms dominating that industry, and these firms, they decide whatever happens in that market. So the smaller firms will only listen, or what is left is what they try to work on. So the price is determining the quantity that will come to the market. They get it more mostly. So supply, they make sure that the supplies are always to them. So few or the smaller firms will not have the opportunity to get more supplies because those supplies go directly to the larger firms. So that's what they mean by large firms dominate. So all the links that will bring about raw materials, components, supplies into that market will be through the larger firms in that market. Is it clear? Different products. In most oligopolistic markets, the products sold by each of the large firms will be very close substitute for each other. However, there are likely to be some differences. For example, although the big 6 car manufacturers all produces cars, there are some significant differences in the style, size, shape, interior colors, performance specifications, and quality among all the manufacturers. Also, each manufacturer produces a wide product range where each product is different and aimed at a slightly different market segment. Firms in an oligopolistic market usually make a deliberate effort to differentiate this product from those of rivals. Oligopolistic markets, they produce goods that looks almost the same, but is differentiated based on the fact that they can target different market segments. What I mean by market segment is targeting customers based on their characteristics. Yeah, so they can do that to differentiate their products from those of competitors. That's one thing they do. They can also, even if it is service, especially for the banks also have such industry. They are oligopolistic because when you look at some banks, especially in the North Africa, we have few banks.
Yeah, we don't have a lot.
Yeah, so these few banks dominate the market. So they try to differentiate their product with what their service with in any way they can to just make sure that you know that bank ABC is not the same as bank CDE. You get the point. But all in all, they try to sell different products or different services. They try to.
Yeah.
But the background is almost the same. Clear?
Yeah.
The third one, barriers to entry. So the third one, do I jump again?
No, it's the fourth one.
The fourth, okay, thank you. Barriers to entry. I just hope we are recording. Okay, we are recording. Barriers to entry. The firms that dominate the market are likely to benefit from barriers to entry. For example, the setup cost might be very high as they are in the motor car industry. The dominant firms are also likely to discourage entry by investing heavily in their brands. Without barriers to entry, the high profit enjoyed by the dominant firms would attract new entrants. As a result, their dominance would reduce. The second feature about oligopolistic is that there's always barriers to entry. Though it's not like the barrier comes naturally. It came as a result of not being able to keep up with whatever is being spent in that industry. They invested, they have strong brands. And when you look at their brands, when you try to measure up with them, then you feel like my brand doesn't have a chance to survive here. Let me not just go into it. You get it? So they invest so much on their reputation, they invest so much on what they do, their publicity. So when you look at it, you find out that no, they are just going to be like I don't even know, a drop of water in the sea, based on how big they are in terms of how big their brand is. So it stops you from even going to that market. That is barriers to entry, is it clear? And if there's no such thing, it becomes difficult for those oligopolistic businesses, or those businesses, those large firms, to keep up dominating. So without barriers to entry, it means every business can set up in that industry, and that means revenue will fall, their profit will fall. So for the fact that they want to continue enjoying that high profits, they will do whatever it takes to discourage new entrants. Is it clear? Pollution. I talked about pollution some time ago. I said when businesses come together to decide what price to sell. So going to business A is going to sell at the same price as business B. And it's not like it's like that. They just want it. They want customers to be vulnerable. So you wouldn't have any other choice than to buy. That's what called pollution. They are creating cartel. So let's read. In some oligopolistic markets, pollution might take place. This is where the dominant firms in the industry set up agreements to restrict competition. For example, firms might agree to share a market geographically. This means that each firm agrees to supply a particular region and not compete in others. Another form of pollution is price fixing. That is what I'm talking about. Where all firms agree to charge the same higher price. Finally, firms may agree to restrict output. By restricting output, supply is decreased and prices rise. In many countries, pollution is illegal because it exploits consumers. I told you, consumers are always vulnerable due to this type of practice. So what they do is this. If they want to do it geographically, they agree on where to supply. Oh, you're gonna supply Misrata, I'm gonna supply Benghazi. You only supply Tripoli. So we take each region, we get dominance there. That's pollution. By doing this, other firms, smaller firms, will not have the chance to compete. Number one. The other thing they could do is they fix higher prices. So they all agree to fix a price that is higher than the market equilibrium. Then when they do this, you want to buy, there's no way you want to buy with the smaller firms. They are the ones that have the better quality. So because they fix that price, you don't have any other choice than to buy at that price. That's another way. That's another feature of monopoly. Oligopoly, they collide. Non-price competition. Since firms are keen to avoid price wars, they compete using advertising and promotions such as coupons, loyalty cards, competition, and free offers. Branding is a common feature in some markets. This is where firm gives products a name, term, sign, or symbol, for example. This helps consumers to identify them more easily. Firms then try to create a brand loyalty through advertising so that customers carry on buying the brand. Product differentiation is also common. This is where the firm tries to persuade customers that their brands are different from those of competitors. The difference may be real or imaginary. For example, there's a real difference between a Mars bar and a Cadbury flame. However, the difference between Kellogg's and supermarkets' own brand conflicts may be a product of the imagination. Imaginary differences can be created and enforced by the work of marketing teams. In an oligopolistic market, there is no price war. They don't fight over price. That's why they are able to fix price. So what they do is non-pricing competition, like product differentiation, like branding, like advertising. This is what they do. These are non-pricing competition. So we're just going to let customers know that ours is different from yours. We're going to invest heavily on advertisement, and if we can do that more than you, then we have the largest share in the market. But they are non-pricing competition. That is what they do in the oligopolistic market. Clear? Now, price competition. In many oligopolistic markets, prices stay the same for quite long periods of time. The market leader often set the price and others follow. One reason for this pattern is because firms are afraid of the price war. If one firm cuts price, others in the market have to do the same or they will lose sales. As a result, revenue and profits will be lower for all firms. However, price wars do occur but tend to last for quite short periods of time. Firms in oligopoly are said to have interdependence. For example, if one firm decides to cut its price, this has an impact on the other firms in the industry. They will have to make changes of their own, perhaps match the price cut or invest in some form of promotion. They will need to do this or risk losing market share to rivals. Sometimes there's always price competition, but it doesn't last. So they only do it for a short period of time to quickly gain ground. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, they go back to normality. They get it because they make sure that whatever they do with price doesn't bring about competitiveness. So they don't want it. They are rivals, yes, but they don't want it to be true price. Is it clear? Any question about that?
No.
So we go to the advantages of oligopoly. Take care. Shall we continue? Shall we? Okay. Since there is some competition in the oligopolistic market, it is reasonable to assume that consumers will benefit in some way. Since it's not monopoly, definitely it's going to favor consumers one way or the other. One choice. So it's going to be favorable to consumers through choice. Number one, function in oligopolistic markets ensure that consumers are provided with some choice. One of the ways in which oligopolists compete is by launching new brands. These new brands provide consumers with new products and often an ever-growing choice in the market. Small producers also provide choice by supplying a niche market. For example, in the car industry, there are small operators that supply sport cars to niche markets. Morgan Cars of Malvern in England is one such example. However, in other markets, there may be little real choice. For example, in many countries, a few large companies dominate the supply of petrol. It might be argued that there is little, if any, difference between the quality of the petrol sold by each supplier. So, one of the advantages oligopolistic market has is choice for consumers. When you look at it, because there's no job, it's not a dominance of one firm. That means, if it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it means we can choose out of these 6. Not that we don't have any other choice to make from. So that's the advantage there. And for the small firms in that industry, they also have opportunity to sell by just finding out specific market segments that they can sell to. They cannot compete with the large firms there. So what they do is find a gap in that market, which the large firms are not seeing. They make a business out of it. You get the point, please?
Yes.
That's the choice we're talking about. The second thing is called quality. Since there's no price competition, because they said one of the features is lack of price competition, right? So you have to use non-price competition to win over or to be able to have competitive edge. One thing that you can use is quality. You know what is quality?
What do you mean what is quality?
What is the meaning of quality?
Like the product's production. Like how the product's production. What do you mean with it? I don't know how to explain it. It's like the quality of
There's a meaning for quality. There's a
Like-
meaning.
the material of the product and how good it is
How good it is.
or how bad it is.
How good or bad it is. Well, when you look at how good or bad it is, it still comes to how good or bad you think it is. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So, if quality, definition for quality is how good or bad I think it is,
Oh,
then we could say quality is what? Meeting customers' expectation.
quality.
Yeah, it means meeting customers' expectation. Do you know quality now?
Yep.
So quality is the customer's perception
Perception.
of the product. So, since we don't have to compete with price, we can compete with quality. So I could be superior. I could have a competitive edge over you because I deliver quality product service. To get quality there.
Yes.
Any question about that?
No.
The third one, economies of scale. If the dominant, are you there?
Mhm.
Do you want to write any points or what?
No.
Okay. If the dominant firms are able to exploit economies of scale, the average cost will be lower. Therefore, it is possible that some of the cost savings will be passed on to customers in the form of lower prices. The smaller rivals in the market cannot exploit economies of scale. They often survive because they do not compete directly with the dominant firms. Another advantage about oligopoly regarding economies of scale is that, there are large firms. Few large firms dominating, right? These few large firms will be operating on a larger scale. Because they are operating on a larger scale, it means they can exploit economies of scale. And what's the economies of scale? A cost advantage you have as a firm because you are expanding, because you are increasing your output. So because you are a large firm, you operate on a large scale. This gives you economies of scale. So you have dominance. Your average cost of production will definitely fall. You get the point there? So for the fact that your average cost of production is falling, you will be able to charge a lower price for your product. That allows you to attract more customers. This will not happen to small firms in that market because they are not operating on a large scale. It becomes difficult for them. But they can also survive. How can they survive? They can survive by looking out, by finding a niche from that market, by selling to those people that the big firms are unable to sell to.
Yeah.
So when you sell to, that means you are creating a niche.
Niche one.
Yeah, so when you create a niche, it allows you to charge premium price. So that could help them to survive. Is it clear?
Yes.
Innovation. The level of innovation in the oligopolistic market might vary. On the one hand, since large and powerful firms dominate the market, it could be argued that they will have the resources to invest in research and development. It is true to say that competition can be resisted if an individual firm can develop a new model that is superior to those of rivals. On the other hand, it might be argued from a consumer's point of view or perspective that the large amounts of money many oligopolies spend on advertising and promotion will be better spent on innovation. So innovation in oligopolistic markets, they can invest on research and development. But most of them, they don't want to do that. They prefer to spend on advertisement. Because when they spend on advertisement, they could use that to convince your customers to start buying from them.
Yeah.
So they feel investing in research and development takes time. It's a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Why can't you just find a way of making profit in the short term instead of waiting to deliver a new product to the market? So that's why, and based on what they said businesses should start to better spend money on innovation than investing heavily on adverts. Because when you invest heavily on adverts, it comes back to the consumers who have to bear the consequence.
Yeah.
Is it clear? Price wars. In some oligopolistic markets, prices are fairly stable for quite long periods of time. This is helpful for consumers because it provides some certainty. However, consumers might benefit from the price war once one firm cuts price aggressively. Others in the market are forced to follow or they risk losing market share. As a result, consumers benefit from lower prices on the market. However, price wars do not normally last for very long, and there is also the threat that one of the firms is squeezed out of the market. As a result, the market becomes less competitive, and in the long term or long run, the survivors might push price even higher. So, price wars in oligopolistic competition or oligopolistic markets. Consumers enjoy price stability. That means consumers are able to decide or are able to have the confidence that price will not change over a long period of time because there's no price war. As a result, price becomes consistent. Price is stable. And stable price is good for consumers because they are able to plan ahead of that. But when prices are not stable, when there's inflation, when prices are not stable, it becomes difficult for consumers to plan. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's an advantage. Consumers are able to plan.
Yeah.
But if there's price war, it is more advantageous for consumers. Why? Because price war will bring about reducing price.
Yeah.
So if a firm aggressively, like they said, reduce the price so much, others would not have any other choice than to follow suit. If not, they lose out on customers.
Mhm.
So either ways, consumers benefit from oligopoly. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Now the problems of oligopoly. One, consumers are not likely to benefit from oligopoly if there is no competition in the market. The main disadvantage of oligopoly is the temptation among firms to collude. If firms are going to restrict competition by price fixing, for example, consumers will end up paying higher prices. Consumers will also suffer if the market is shared geographically. There will be lack of choice because only one firm will supply each area. The first problem oligopoly will bring about is lack of competition. So when there's lack of competition, consumers' choice becomes restricted. We no longer have choices. As a result, price becomes high.
Mhm.
Do you get the point there?
Yeah. In 2016.
In 2016, Chicago family is about story. No, it's just forget about its story. And the last paragraph here, it said, in a minority of oligopolistic market, a cartel might exist. That's still under collusion. This is where a group of firms country formally join together and agree on price fixing or output. You get cartel here. Cartel means they come up to fix the price, they come up to fix the quantity that has to be supplied into the market.
Mm.
This is what oligopoly will do.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes.
What is their aim? Their aim is to restrict the supply of, okay, that's the story there. So cartel is formed. I'm just going to explain what cartel means. I already said cartel means you're coming up together to fix price or to fix quantity. Why do they do this? They are doing this to restrict supply so that price can surge, go up. Is it clear?
Yes.
So if there is genuine competition between dominant firms in an oligopolistic market, then consumers might benefit. Genuinity, that means genuineness. But there is no genuine competition because at the end of it all, they don't want price war.
Yeah.
The only time we can discuss about being real is when we are able to decide price, when the price are not the same. But if we all fix price, there's no genuinity. For example, all teachers saying, oh, we get this certain amount per hour. So that is not genuinity. With quality, without quality, they charge the same.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
So because we don't want price war, it becomes difficult to be genuine. As a result, consumers will be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So consumers will benefit most if oligopolistic markets are able to decide to come up with price war. Do you get it?
Yes.
That is the point there. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Anything there again?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Is that the end of the chapter?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So go to the question. Which of the following is a possible disadvantage of oligopoly? Disadvantage.
Is it collision?
I'm asking. I'm asking you.
Collision.
Collusion, yes. Do you get it now? The second question. Which of the following industries is likely to be oligopolistic?
B again.
Petrol, yeah,
Petrol,
GD. Yeah. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Any question about it? That ends chapter 21. Oligopoly.